Okay. So transient are considered as transients are considered as sudden change in the state of the circuit. Transients are considered as sudden changes, sudden changes in the state of the circuit. State of the circuit. State of the circuit means current and voltage at the particular time. That is the state of the circuit. Okay. It changes the state of the circuit. Why it happens? Because of the switching operation, which happens due to switching operation, which happens due to switching operation, which happens due to switching operation. Okay. Again, transient occur for very short duration. Okay. Transients occur for very short duration. Very short duration. And then next, the response of the circuit. Okay, in general, the response of the any circuit can be classified into two types. One is forced response. One is forced response, and the another one is natural response. Another one is natural response. Sometimes we will have combination of both forced response as well as the natural response. First, we will see separately. Okay, the forced response is okay. Whenever the forced response is there, then definitely there should be the source. Okay, source means voltage source or current source. Some independent source has to be there. For a natural response, source is not needed. Okay, so source not present. Okay, without source also we can get the response. We'll see quickly how it is. Say for example, if you are having a network, again network means please think it like RLC or something, RLC like that. Okay, because hereafter you have to consider like RLC. Okay, so if the network consists of RLC or only RL or RC, okay, then when I apply the voltage, some voltage, okay, DC or AC, that's okay. I am applying some source, okay, I am forcing. So I can calculate the current or voltage across any part of the circuit, no problem. I can calculate the current or voltage in any part of the circuit. Okay, that response is called as forced response. That response is called as forced response. Okay. That response is called as a forced response. Okay, that response is called as a forced response. Then how to get the natural response? How to get the natural response? Say for example, if the circuit consists of some inductor or capacitor, it can store the energy. Okay, if the same network I take, okay, then I remove the, okay, the same network, I have connected the source is there for some time, then I remove the source. Okay, but the circuit inside the inductor and capacitor consists of some energy. Okay, because you know the inductor and capacitor can store the energy, and because of that energy, say for example, if capacitor is there inside, one resistance is there, already from the source it got some voltage. This voltage now it will deliver to the resistance. Okay, again in forms of current that will flow, current will flow in the loop. Okay, already this was in the charging mode. Okay, it was charging like this, but you disconnected suddenly you disconnected the voltage source. Now it has some energy, that energy it can deliver to the resistance. Okay, that means what? The here the source is not there. Okay, here the response is due to the energy stored in the energy storing element, either in the inductor or capacitor. Okay, once if the circuit is not having any source, but the response is there due to the stored energy in the inductor or capacitor or both, that response is called as a natural response. Okay, this response we will call it as a natural response. This response we'll call it as a natural response. Or sometime we'll get the combination of both. Say for example, um, I have some voltage source. Okay, some inductor circuit is there. Okay, switch is there. Okay, here already this is like closed. Okay, now what happens? Again, this is some voltage source V1. Okay, again one more voltage source V2. V2 is there. Okay, again this switch has been closed at t is equal to minus infinite. So, okay, long before. Okay, now what I do exactly at t is equal to 0, I am removing this. I am opening this switch. I am closing this switch. Okay, first what will happen? This circuit, this part of the circuit is present from t is equal to minus infinite. Then this is storing and the energy from minus infinite. Now, when you open the switch, that time the inductor will have some energy. Okay, the energy inside the inductor is not 0 at t is equal to 0 because the inductor is getting the energy from t is equal to minus infinite. Okay, so the inductor is having initial energy. Okay, here the inductor is not a simple free inductor. The inductor is already having the energy. Okay, so if the circuit consists of inductor with the energy, with the initial energy, with the initial energy, then also you are connecting with some voltage. Okay, already the inductor is having initial energy. You are also applying some voltage. Okay, that means in this case you can get both. Okay, because you know the superposition theorem you can apply. Okay, separately you can apply the superposition theorem. Okay, you can get the both the response. That's why sometime you will get both the response, both forced response as well as the natural response. Again, there are different name for this one. Okay, so the name of okay. Okay, so in general, we may get both forced response as well as the natural response, or separately also we can get only forced response, only natural response. But once if you see only natural response, that means what? The inductor or capacitor is already having the energy, or otherwise you cannot do the natural response. Okay, then okay, so we'll take some note. So the source free, okay, this response is called source free response. Okay, the natural response is called source free response because source is not there. Okay, so the source free response is possible provided that network has initial is stored energy. Okay, the source free response is possible provided that the network as initial energy, network as initial energy. Okay, again how the network can have initial energy, because you know the inductor can store the energy in terms of electromagnetic format. Okay, inductor store energy in electromagnetic format. Inductor stores energy in electromagnetic form. Again, psi is equal to L into I, or otherwise energy is equal to 1 by 2 Li square, where I means what is the latest current value. Okay, the energy at any point of time depends on the current, instantaneous current. Okay, so at the time of switching, okay, what is the current value, or initially if the inductor is stored the energy, then what is the energy inside the inductor. Okay, that depends on what is the lost current it got. Okay, so that is I. Okay, that will write as a I naught. That means before switching, okay, what is the current in the inductor, what is the current in the inductor. Okay, because before switching means before you are doing the switch, already the inductor is getting the energy from somewhere else, from some other source. Now you are opening that source, you are connecting with the new source, or otherwise you may get energy only from the inductor. Okay, that time this I naught means the latest current, lost current of the inductor. This is lost current, latest or lost current across inductor. Okay, similarly, the capacitor can store the energy in electrostatic format. Capacitor store energy in electrostatic form, again Q is equal to CV, or energy is equal to 1 by 2 CV square. This V is like V naught, latest voltage in the capacitor, last or latest voltage in the capacitor, voltage in the capacitor. Okay, now the complete response we can also write in some other manner. Complete response complete response is due to both forced response as well as the natural response. Again, there is another name for forced response. The forced response, once if you calculate only forced response, then the another name for this one is zero state response. That means what? Okay, once if you concentrate on the forced response, your inductor or capacitor is not having any initial energy. Okay, your inductor and capacitor is not having any initial energy. Okay, that means zero state. Okay, it is not having any initial energy. So that's why the forced response, another name is zero state response. Once if you calculate only natural response, when you apply the natural response, you are not applying any source. Okay, you are applying zero input. You are not applying the input. That means you are applying zero input. That's why the another name for natural response is called as zero state response. Okay, zero state response. Okay, these are all the different two types of responses. At any point of time, we may get this one separately or this one separately, or combinedly also we can get the problems. Okay, next one is initial condition. Okay, this is most important thing in the transients. Okay, if you could not understand this, you cannot do any, even a very simple problem also you cannot solve in the transients. Okay, again for that the basic is again voltage across the capacitor cannot change suddenly, but its current can change. Once again I will write. Okay, so the voltage across capacitor cannot change suddenly, but its current can change. Similarly, the current across the inductor cannot change suddenly, but its voltage can change. Okay, now we'll go one by one. First, I'll take the capacitor. Okay, I know the equation of the capacitor is I C dVc divided by dt. Okay, the current across the capacitor is equal to C dVc by dt. Okay, I can modify this. Vc is equal to 1 by C integration I dt. Now from this it is very clear Vc is linear function of I. Okay, because integrator is linear. Vc is the linear function of I. Okay, so that means what? Vc cannot change suddenly. Okay, it can increase. Okay, very smoothly, very linearly only it can increase. Okay, again from this our statement is true because Vc is linear function of I. Okay, linear means it will change very slowly like this it will increase. Okay, suddenly it will not jump. Okay, it will not jump like this. Okay, that is the concept of linearity. Okay, so once again if you see, once if it changes linearly, okay, then if somebody asks, say I choose some point, okay, then just before the point, just after the point, if you calculate the value will be almost same. Okay, I choose some point here. Okay, then at this is at t is equal to, see, t plus, just after t, just before t minus, if you really see the values, there will not be any difference. Okay, the value at t minus at t plus is exactly same. That is true for VC, because VC is equal to t minus and VC equal to t plus is same, because again this plus minus difference is very less. Okay, very close to t. Okay, you choose t any value, 5 seconds. Okay, I choose in 5 seconds. Then I observe what is the current here at what time, 4.99999 like seconds, like that. Again, and also I observe here at 5.11 5.0001 second. Okay, once if I observe like that, definitely there will not be any change. Okay, that only this function is indicating. Okay, it is a linear function of I. But if I calculate at very different time, say for example I calculated at t is equal to 5, then if I measure at t is equal to 10, then definitely the difference will be there. That I agree. Okay, definitely it need not to be equal, it may be different, because I measure at 5, I measure at 10, definitely some amount of difference will be there. That time I cannot put the equal value. Okay, but once if I measure very closely, then this is equal, because that means the voltage across the capacitor cannot change suddenly. And what are all the possible input? Because now this is the voltage, again current is like input, VC voltage is like output. Again, what are all the possible IT can be step current, you can apply the step current, you can apply the ramp current, you can apply the parabolic current. Okay, again one more thing is there, impulse, that will come to the latter. Okay, then once if you apply this, these are all like practical input. Okay, these are all like practical input, practically these are all possible. Okay, once if you apply this practical input, you apply step, you apply ramp, or you apply the parabolic, then how the VC is varying. Okay, once if you apply the practical input, the VC also will vary linearly. Okay, very smoothly, very linearly, it will change. Okay, sudden change will not be there. Okay, so what is this T minus and T plus? Okay, please wait. Okay. Okay. So once the scale is like this, okay, this is at t is equal to 0. Okay, this is I take 0 plus. This one I can take like a 0 minus. Okay, again, what is this 0 plus? You may have doubt. That is like 0.00001 like that. What is this 0 minus? That is minus 0 plus 0.00001 like that. You put as many zeros as possible. That means what? Very close to 0. Very close to 0. This one I can take like minus infinite. This is like plus infinite. Again, this is the my time scale. Okay. So 0 minus means very close to 0, but less than 0. 0 plus means very close to 0, but just greater than 0. Okay, that idea you should understand. So next, what is t is equal to 0 minus? The t is equal to 0 minus means uh, instant. Okay, it is the time instant just before the switch operation. Okay, now I assume that I am closing the switch at t is equal to 0. Okay, before t is equal to 0, the switch is like open. At t is equal to 0, I am closing the switch. Okay, if that is the case, it is the instant just before switch operation. Okay, again, it doesn't mean that switch has to be closed and opened always at t is equal to 0, because we have to start with somewhere. That's why we are taking 0 as a reference. Switch can be closed and opened at any time. But once if you understand this, the same concept you can apply anywhere. Okay, so now we'll assume that very simply the switch is closed at t is equal to 0. Okay, it is the instant just before the switching operation, just before the switch operation. Okay, so again, what is that steady state? Before the switch operation, okay, before t is equal to 0 minus, because you are operating the switch at t is equal to 0. Okay, before 0, the circuit is at steady state. Okay, so steady state steady state before switch operation, because switch operate, we do not know when switch have, again, what is when the previous switch has been opened or closed, we do not know, but we'll assume that simply the switching operation has been done at minus infinite for simplicity before the switch, the steady state before, okay, before this t is equal to 0, we'll assume that that is a steady state, okay, steady state before the switch operation, because switch operation would have happened, switch operation would have happened at t is equal to minus infinite. Again, it is not mandatory. Okay, some switch may be closed at t is equal to minus 2 hour also, minus 3 hour also, no problem. But you have to make sure that long gap is there. Okay, if there is long gap, okay, then the previous state and all, we'll call it as a steady state. But exactly when you make the switch operation at some time at negative time, then around that time that is transient, but after some time that is steady state. After that time that is steady state. Okay, so t is equal to 0 minus, and then next one is t is equal to 0 plus. Okay, instant just after switch operation. Okay, again, for us, okay, we do not know when the previous switch has been closed or opened, we do not know, but we are closing the switch at t is equal to 0. Then that means what? This 0 to, okay, up to certain time, that is like a transient response. Okay, up to from 0 up to certain duration, but very minimum duration, we'll have a transient response. Okay, it is not up to 0 plus, up to certain time. Okay, we'll have the transient response. Okay, so instant just after the switch operation, okay, that time we'll get the transient operation, transient state operation. Okay, now we'll revise this formula. Okay, we will take this formula. Vc is equal to 1 by c integration I dt. Now I take some practical current input. Okay, suppose I'm having the unit step current. Okay, if my current is unit step current, okay, current I is unit step current, this is t. Now, okay, once if I apply the unit step current to the capacitor, then what will happen to the voltage of the capacitor? Okay, I am applying the unit step current to the capacitor suddenly. Okay, because I can, again, one thing you have to understand here, to the capacitor I am applying the current. Okay, that current nature is just before t is equal to 0, this is 0. Just after t is equal to 0, it is some value. It is like 1 ampere. Okay, it is because u of t means what? Step signal. Step signal means 1 ampere. Okay, so suddenly you are changing the current. Okay, so the capacitor can observe that, because voltage across the capacitor cannot change suddenly, but current across the capacitor can change suddenly. Okay, because you see, you observe here, it is changing suddenly. It is not a smooth input. Okay, it is a sudden change. Okay, because it will allow, because the capacitor will allow the sudden change in the current. Okay, that's okay. Now what will happen? Okay, this is 1 by c, again, from minus infinity to up to certain time t, I of t dt. Okay, and somebody tell me what would be the current value before t is equal to 0 minus. Now my question is, what would be current across the capacitor before t is equal to 0 minus? Because exactly you are applying the current at t is equal to 0 only. Just before t is equal to 0, the capacitor current would have been 0 only. Okay, but just after t is equal to 0, the capacitor current is, in this case, it is like 1 ampere. Okay, please wait a bit. Okay, so again, the capacitor current can change suddenly. Now what is the current before 0 minus? That is 0 ampere. just after 0 plus, that is 1 ampere. Okay, now again I can write this, I can split the integral from minus infinity to 0 minus, okay, and then from 0 minus to 0 plus, okay, again sorry, not 0 plus, again I can write up to t, okay, and again here this is simply 1 ampere. So again finally I can write like this, okay, 1 by c, this value is 0 ampere, first integral. The second integral value is simply integration of dt is t, okay, again uh, integration of again I am interested to know the voltage at t is equal to 0 plus. Okay, now what I am interested, okay, now I know, again simply I can write t because integration of t is t. Okay, now I can write like this. Okay, finally the voltage across the capacitor is like 1 by c integration of t. Okay, now again, now what I am interested, okay, I am interested to calculate the vc 0 plus. I am interested to calculate that vc is equal to vc 0 plus. Now what will happen once you apply the 0 plus here, this value is 0. Okay, now what is the voltage across the capacitor before t is equal to 0? Okay, before t is equal to 0 I have not applied any voltage. Okay, so definitely the voltage across the capacitor before t is equal to 0 is 0 minus. Okay, now 0 minus, it's simply 0. Okay, just before the switching the voltage across the capacitor is 0, but what happened to the, okay, so at vc is equal to 0 plus, voltage at t is equal to 0 plus, again the voltage is 0. Okay, so finally vc 0 minus also 0, and then vc 0 plus also 0. Once again we are proving that vc 0 minus is equal to vc 0 plus. That means what? The voltage across the capacitor cannot change suddenly, but whereas for a current, the current just before 0 minus is different 0, but just after 0 it is simply 1 ampere. Okay, so we got some idea now. Mathematically the voltage across the capacitor cannot change suddenly, whereas the current can change. But what will happen if I use the input as a impulse signal? Because impulse is not a practical signal, but if I try to use the impulse as an input signal, what will happen? Note, okay, suppose if the current I of t, I take it as a impulse signal del t, okay, then what will happen? Okay, then the voltage can be changed suddenly. Voltage can be changed, suddenly. If you use, if it is equal to del t, voltage can be changed suddenly, but practically del t not exist. But practically del t not exist. Okay, practically del t not exist. Again, once if you use impulse, then what is the voltage at t is equal to 0 plus, that is 1 by c integration 0 minus to 0 plus. Okay, and then del t dt. Again, you know from the properties of impulse, if the impulse is present in between the limit, again that integration value is like 1. Okay, so simply it is 1 by c. Okay, so again here at t is equal to 0 minus 0, but at t is equal to 0 plus, it is 1 by c. That means suddenly you are changing the voltage of the capacitor, but that is possible only if you use the impulse current, but impulse current practically not existing. Okay, then next we'll see the inductor. For a inductor, okay, inductor means v is equal to l di by dt. Okay, and then I is equal to 1 by l integration v dt, where I is linear function of, I is linear function of v. Okay, again, um, uh, uh, we know before applying the current across the inductor is zero, because at t is equal to zero only we are applying the current. Then definitely before t is equal to zero, the current across the inductor is zero. But after applying the current, then after applying the voltage, then I is the linear function of v. Say for example, again here we use the voltage function as u of t. Okay, here we are using the u of t, but this is like voltage. Okay, this is like you are using the voltage respect to time. Then what is I 0 plus? Okay, current across the inductor, because you are applying the voltage at t is equal to 0. Before applying the voltage, definitely there will not be any current is zero. But what happens after you apply the voltage? What happens to the current across the inductor? Okay, at t is equal to 0 plus, then that is 1 by L integration 0 minus to 0 plus, and then dt, because this is u of t. U of t means from 0 to infinite. Okay, or otherwise this is dt. If it is dt, and again this you can write 1 by L. Okay, 1 by L again, this is integration of dt is t. If you apply 0 plus, either 0 or 0 minus, no problem, then finally you will get 0 only. Finally you will get 0. Then again what is happening? The IL 0 minus also 0, IL 0 plus also 0. That means what? The current across the inductor cannot change suddenly. Current across the inductor cannot change suddenly, whereas its voltage can change. Okay, because voltage across the inductor before t is equal to 0, that is definitely 0. But voltage across the inductor after t is equal to 0, we have taken a 1 volt. That means the voltage can change, but the current across the inductor cannot change. Okay, but if you use the impulse, current across the inductor also can change suddenly. Okay, so note, if u of t is equal to del t, then current across the inductor can change suddenly. Then current across inductor can change suddenly. That is I 0 plus is equal to 1 by L integration 0 minus 0 plus del t dt. Then this value is 1 by L. But practically del t function not exist. Practically del t not exist. Okay, so finally we are just mathematically we are trying to prove, okay, the voltage across the inductor cannot change suddenly, whereas the current across the inductor cannot change suddenly. But you can change it once if you use the impulse function. Okay, impulse function is mathematically possible, but practically not possible to have a impulse function. Okay, then the next we'll see about the capacitor. Okay, so again all our discussion we assume that switching is happening at t is equal to 0 exactly. Okay, then switching is at always t is equal to 0. Always all our discussion now, current discussion depends on switching at t is equal to 0. Always switching at t is equal to 0. Okay, then if this is the case, then before the switching definitely the voltage across the capacitor is 0. Okay, then after the switching also the voltage across the capacitor cannot change suddenly. Okay, that means at the time of switching, okay, when we do the switching, that is just after the switching, that is at t is equal to 0 plus, okay, then the voltage is not changing and also it is 0. Okay, once the voltage is 0, we can consider that circuit as a short circuit. Okay, that time the capacitor is behaving like a short circuit because the voltage is 0. Okay, so we'll assume that the capacitor act as a short circuit. Capacitor is acting like a short circuit because the voltage is not changing. That too, the voltage value is 0. That's why we assume that the capacitor acts as a short circuit. Then what happens at t is equal to infinite? Okay, with respect to t is equal to 0, t is equal to infinite is like a steady state. Okay, at steady state, what happens? At steady state, the capacitor act as a in the opposite manner. Okay, at the switching, it act as a short circuit. Then definitely at steady state, it will act as a open circuit. And also there are some other mathematics. We'll later see how it is exactly acting like a open circuit. At the current time, you just remember in the opposite way. Okay, you know it is acting as a short circuit. Then the opposite way is at t is equal to infinite, it will act as a open circuit. Okay, so with this I will stop. Okay, we'll continue on tomorrow. If you have any doubt, you can ask.